Today we're going to be working on another SQL question. This is question number 1709 of Leetcode, biggest window between visits. You have been given the user visits, we have a user ID and the visit underscore date. This table does not have a primary key, so we are expecting duplicates in it. And assume that the today's date is 2021 1/1. So January 1st, 2021. This is very important parameter because we're gonna be calculating all the date differences from today's date, which is in this question 2021 January 1st. Write an SQL query that will for each user ID find out the largest window of days between each visit and one right after, or today if you are considering the last visit. I'm not gonna go what it means, but I will explain you by the examples. Okay, so these are the table entries and these are the results. What they are saying is like this person, he visited on this date, like November 28th of 2020. He also visited in October of 2020. He also visited in December of 2020. So this person visited 3 times, and today, as we were told in the question, that today is January 1st, 2021. We're gonna say that what is the date when he first visited. So the date he visited the first time is this one, October 20th. Okay, so did he visit any other time? Yes, he visited 2 times. So the difference of this one with this one is 39 days. So that is one window that, okay, this window he didn't visit, or he didn't visit, yeah. Okay, then when did he visit the next time? So from here, he visited to this date, and the window is 5 days. Okay, and the third window is from this date to today's date, which is 2020 12/3 to today's date, and the days are 29. So we will say the biggest window, again this window is that he didn't visit during that window, is this one, which is 39 days. So we outputted that. In this case, he visited the first time on October 5th. Okay, and then he visited on December 9th. So that one is 65 days. And then he visited, and today is again the next year, so 2021. To From this one to 2021 January 1st, we have 23 days. So comparing 23 with 65, 65 is gonna make it to the result. The last one just visited once. If you visited once, all you need to do is today's date, and this date's difference is gonna show up here, which is 51 days. Okay, how we're gonna do it is kind of like this time we're gonna have an inner selection. We are selecting this user visits v1 with user visits as v2, and we are selecting wherever the user ID is the same and the visit date is less than visit date. What we are interested in is, like, basically we actually said that we're gonna have another table over here, and we're gonna do the joining, right, wherever the user ID is the same and the date we are selecting is less than the date we are selecting is gonna be like this date is gonna be less than the next date. So once we do that, what we are interested in, again, we're gonna have a user ID. We need a date difference, right? Of look at all the entries in the table, right? And give me the minimum of that. So in case of, because we're going to be grouping them with the user IDs too. So in the case of user 1, this ID is gonna give us this entry, right? So he's saying that select either, that's the one which you're gonna be selecting. But in case there is no such thing, then just select today's date. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna say, okay, like what is the difference between that date and like today's visit date. So the minimum date, right? We're gonna start with that minimum of the visiting date, right? And if we gonna start with that, and then we're gonna have, if we don't have that, we're gonna select today's date, and then we're gonna have a difference of, basically think of it that we are, once these three entries are also in the front, oops, didn't work very well, they are also in the front like this, we are gonna have like basically calculating the differences of those dates, right? So once we have the difference as difference, right? So basically you're gonna have entries for the user, for a particular user, which is gonna have that, okay, uh, we have the differences. So basically this user 1 is gonna have an entry 35, it's gonna have an entry 5, and it's gonna have entry 29 with this one. After that, you're gonna say that give me that user ID while grouping them and ordering them by the user ID. Give me that user ID and the maximum of the difference as the biggest window. That's how we're gonna do it. And the reason it's gonna, this thing is gonna work where we are actually calculating the differences is because we are saying that the one side of the table is always gonna be the less than the other side of the table, which where we are joining uh, in the, in terms of the visit date. And when we take the differences, it's always gonna be, so it's not like basically why are we not having the why are we not having like what about the cases where the table in front of it has smaller date, right? So that's not gonna, we're not even considering that. So this entry is gonna be joined with these ones, right? When we are comparing them, and we're gonna say that the difference is always gonna be positive. That's what I mean. That's all I wanted to cover in this video. Thanks for watching.